Happy birthday, Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam. His name was Hassan ibn Ali. His mother was al-Walad, also known as Sasan. His kunyat is Abu Muhammad. His title is Al-Askari. He was born at Samara at the year 232 after Hijri. His martyrdom is that he was poisoned in 260 after Hijri in Samara and is buried there. Biography and upbringing. His real name is Al-Hassan Abu Muhammad. Being a resident of Asgar, a suburb of Samara, he is titled Al-Askari. His father was Imam Ali al-Naqi Alaihis Salam, and his mother was Saleh Khatun, an ideal woman in piety, worship, chastity, and generosity. He was born in Medina on the 10th of Rabi' Thani in 232 after Hijri. He lived under the care of his father, his respected father, up to the age of 11, when his father had to leave for Samara. He was to accompany him and thus share the hardships of the journey with the family. At Samara, he passed his time with his father, either in imprisonment or in partial freedom. He had, however, the chance to benefit from his father's teaching and instructions. It is written by scholars that once our 11th Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam, who was still a child, was standing between some other children who were playing and having fun. Suddenly a lover of the Ahlul Bayt ﷺ was passing by, but he was trapped with the scene that all the other children were playing and a beautiful child was standing alone and crying. He decided to approach the child to ask what was wrong. Maybe he could help him. He said, "My dear, if you are crying because you don't have the toys that other children have, if you like I can bring some toys to you." Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam replied, "Do you think I am crying for the toys? We are not created to play with toys, but have fun, but to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seek for knowledge." This lover of Ahlul Bayt asked him how he was sure about that, and the young Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam answered, "Have you not read the verse of the noble Quran which guides us, saying, 'What, did you not think that we have created you in vain, and that you shall not be returned to us?' Chapter 23, ayah number 115. This lover of Ahlul Bayt was impressed with the answer and said, "But why are you so troubled at such a young age? You have not committed any sins." Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam replied, "Age does not matter. I watch my mother every day, and when she sets fire to the large twigs, she uses the small ones first. I am afraid that may not the young children of this world be used to the light of the hellfire." Allahu Akbar. The holy Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam, who is an infallible personality and Hujjat of Imam Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, reflects so deeply. This answer was only a lesson to his followers to ponder over. This capturing story of Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam is a great learning lesson for us all. His father died in 254 after Hijri, when he was 22. 4 months before his death, the father declared his son to be his successor and executor of his will, asking his followers to bear witness to the fact. Thus the responsibilities of imamate were vested upon him, which he fulfilled even in the face of great difficulties and hostile environment. In the early days of his imamate, Al-Mutasim, the Abbasid Caliph, when later was deposed, he was succeeded by Al-Muhtadi. After his brief reign of only 11 months and 1 week, Al-Mu'tamid came to the throne. During their regimes, Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam did not enjoy peace at all. Although the Abbasid dynasty was not involved in constant complications and disorders, each and every king thought it necessary to keep the Imam Alaihis Salam in prison. One of the Holy Prophet ﷺ's traditions that ran that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ would be succeeded by 12 successors, last of whom would be Al-Mahdi al-Hujjatul Qa'im Ajil Farajahum alayhi salam. The Abbasids knew well that the true successors of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ were these very Imams. Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam being the 11th, his son would surely be the 12th or the last. They tried to put an end to his life in such a way that it would ensure that nobody to succeed him. As the simple confinement inflicted on Imam al-Naqi Alaihis Salam was considered inadequate for Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam, so he was imprisoned away from his family. No doubt the revolutionary intervals between the two regimes gave him a brief period of freedom, yet as soon as the new king came to the throne, he followed his predecessor's policy and imprisoned the Imam again. The Imam's brief life was therefore mostly spent in dungeon cells. Character and virtues. Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam was one of the illustrious series of immaculate, infallible, each member of whom displayed the moral excellence of human perfection. He was peerless in knowledge, forbearance, forgiveness, generosity, sacrifice, and piety. But whenever Al-Mu'tamid asked anybody about his captive, Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam, he was told that the Imam fasted during the day and worshipped during the night, and that his tongue uttered no word but the remembrance of his Creator. During the brief periods of freedom and stay at home, people approached him hoping to avail from his benevolence, and they all went back well rewarded. Once the Abbasid Caliph asked Ahmad ibn Abdullah ibn Khan, his minister for charities, about the descendants of Imam Ali alayhi salam. He reported, "I do not know anybody among them who was more distinguished than Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam. None can surpass him in dignity, knowledge, piety, and abstinence, nor can anybody match him in the point of nobleness, majestic grandeur, modesty, and honesty." Mu'tamid, the Abbasid Caliph, was just like his forefathers. He, too, was an open enemy of the Ahlul Bayt alayhis salam. He declared that Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam should be imprisoned and that no mercy should be shown to him. And hence Mu'tamid, the Abbasid Caliph, went to Salih ibn Wasif and told him to treat Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam harshly. Salih bin Wasif sent for two of the evilest men he could find to take charge of the Imam. The men changed into men of worship, fasting, prayer, and to an amazing extent. When Salih ibn Wasif interrogated them about their change in character, they said, "What can we say about a man who fasts during the day and stands in prayer through the night, who does not speak and occupies himself with nothing except worship? When he looks at us, our limbs shake, and within us is a feeling which we never had." Then Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam was handed over to a man named Nahrir, the jailer, who was a very cruel man, and once advised by his wife, who said to him, "Fear Allah. Have you no idea of who is imprisoned in your prison? He is a pious man and a great worshipper of Allah. I am afraid that Allah will curse you." Her husband said, "Oh really, just watch me. I am going to send him inside the cage with animals." Nahrir, the jailer, got permission from his Abbasid Caliph and carried out his plans. Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam was sent to the cage, and the people thought that this was the end of Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam's life. But when they returned to look what had happened, instead they all witnessed that Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam was praying, surrounded by the wild animals which were all prostrating before him. Now the order was given to take Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam out from there. The Abbasid court poet Abu Yusuf said, "My hard life, coupled with the birth of the son in this state of poverty, made me write a plea to Abbasid government for financial help, but I was spurned. When I got disappointed, I remembered the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's descendant, Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam. I went to him. I hesitated in informing him of my problem, for I feared that he might not help me because of my reputation as the court poet of the Abbasids. I wandered around Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam's house for some time before knocking on the door. The door opened, and to my surprise, a companion of Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam came out and put my hand in my hand a purse, saying, "Take these 400 dirhams. My master says, cover the expenses of your newborn child with this amount. May God bless you and your child." Abu Yusuf said, "I was astounded. I had neither met him as yet nor disclosed the request I entertained at heart, and here I was given the money. I thanked Allah for blessing the presence of such a great and generous person." Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam had said, "Generosity has a limit. When cross becomes extravagance. Caution has a limit. When cross becomes cowardice. Thriftness has a limit. When cross becomes miserliness. Courage has a limit. When cross becomes foolhardiness. Let this moral suffice. Refrain from doing anything you would disapprove of if done by someone else." Imam Hassan Askari Alaihis Salam advises his Shias, "Let piety be your provision, patience be your garment, and by hardships in the path of Allah. Be true in your speech, trustworthy in performing your deeds, prolong in your sides of prostration, deal with others with the best behavior, and treat your neighbor amicably. Perform your prayers even with those whom you think to be your opposition. Attend their funeral ceremonies, visit their sick, and give them their rights. Really, I tell you that whosoever is honest and has good behavior in the eyes of others, he is the pious Shia whom I will be proud of. Therefore, fear Allah, and be as adornment on behalf of us, and be not as the shame that defames our name. This is the only way which others shall be attracted towards us."